What's going on, everybody? Shadley here, and in today's video we're going to be looking at an Ash Blast Overheat Pyro build. Now this build will be the quickest way you can run challenge tiers at the moment. Pretty much all the world records for the different pyro stuff have been using this sort of build. You guys keep mentioning it to me, so I want to give my take on this build. We're going to have a bunch of pyro builds this week. I pretty much have all the pieces for several different builds, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel if you're interested in seeing those. We're going to be working on our melee pyro one here on stream today, so if you guys are watching this video as it goes live, I will be live on Twitch, so hopefully I'll see you guys over there. Well, let's go ahead and just start off with this build video. Like always, let's go ahead and take a peek at our skills first. So we're going to be using Heat Wave with the Akari set, and then Ash Blast and Overheat. This combo is going to allow you guys to nuke the entire map of mobs. Pretty much the only thing that's going to survive are elites occasionally, but if you do the combos correctly, you can do a pretty darn good chunk to elites. Now our combo for this is basically going to be Heat Waves followed by Ash Blast, and then let that spread for about a second, and then cast your Overheat, and pretty much any normal mob in solo play will just instantly disappear. And then if you do the combos right on elites, you should be able to kill a good amount of them, and then otherwise you'll just finish them off with your weapons. But taking a look at our weapons, we're going to be using a Death Shield. This is just always the go-to for anomaly builds right now. Fortress is just so good for it. And then for the damaging mods, you can either use Shadow Comet or Moaning Winds, which is going to come on the Anemoi here. You guys can take your pick which one you like to use. Moaning Winds is the better option for single target damage, but it is a little bit more annoying to use in my opinion, so I just stick with Shadow Comet. You guys can make your choice there. And then your second weapon, either use the Funeral Pyre if you guys are using Shadow Comet, or the Anemoi if you guys are using Moaning Winds, and then just throw Fortress as the second mod on both of those. Your pistol really doesn't matter. I just use it as another source of proccing my damage mod, because with this build, your single target is going to be lacking ever so slightly compared to, say, our Phaser Beam Overheat build. So if you guys want to do a little bit more single target damage, I would continue to use that build. That one's just slightly slower in your clear times, but you get a little bit more single target damage out of it. This one is just so fast at mobbing. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our gear. So obviously we're going to be using the Akari set again. This is by far the best set for anomaly builds. But specifically looking at our helmet, we're still going to be using Fire Tsunami and then also Burnt Out. And then our chest piece, we're going to be using Detonator, which is going to allow us to just spam Overheat to our heart's content. You can use it to stun enemies, you can use it to emergency heal, and then obviously you can use it to nuke. There's pretty much every scenario you can use Overheat. Just use it in whatever you need to in that moment. You'll get it right back. And then that's obviously going to still have the innate tidal wave on here, so we get a second heat wave, and that's going to combine with Burnt Out up here, so you get that 50% debuff on elites or pretty much anybody you hit with your heat waves. And then the Akari pants, we're going to keep Anomaly Echo on there, and then we're going to throw Captain Hunter. Like I've said, the single target on elites is where this build is going to slow down, so we're going to try to increase that by as much as possible. And then for your gloves and your boots, you guys are going to want to run anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and status power. You can change out status power for skill leech if you want a little bit more survivability, but it's not really necessary. I would just stick with status power. And then on the gloves, I really do like Pants on Fire. It helps passively take out the enemies hiding in the back of the map. And then we're going to throw on Master Consumer, so we can consume both Burn and Ash, and that's going to allow you guys to deal the most damage possible, and also nuke all of the enemies who are just affected by Ash Blast. And then on our boots, obviously I don't have cooldown reduction here. I'm still looking for boots that will allow me to do so. But then I had these as a green, so if you guys missed yesterday's God Roll farm video, make sure you go check that out. That's how I got these boots. But I was able to get Ash Blast increased range on there. I highly suggest you guys run that. I don't think it can normally roll on boots, so you might have to do greens if you're trying to get it on the boots, but I believe it can roll on gloves. And then otherwise, the other slot, we're going to be using Death Sentence. This comes from the Torturer's Mask, and it's going to allow us and also our teammates, even though it says it's going to allow your teammates to do that extra damage as well. But this is also going to help out your single target damage and also just nuking the whole horde of enemies. But overall, here is the total look at all of our gear and their mods. And then obviously, like I said, with the passives, you guys are looking for anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and status power. Also, one last thing to note, I know a lot of people have been running the Akari boots down here for the cooldown reduction and getting rid of the helmet. This is something that you guys can do if you can get all of these mods on there, but I personally really do like Fire Tsunami. It really helps with the debuffs and just hitting as many enemies with it as possible. Now, moving on over to our skill tree here is going to be a full bottom tree with a couple here in top for the Ash Blast cooldown. So obviously we're just going to grab these two up here. And then for the bottom tree, some key notes are going to be Wildfire, just decreasing that cooldown. The cooldown is honestly one of the biggest parts of this build. The lower you can get that, the better you will do. And then we're also going to pick up Extinction here. This is very helpful for taking out elites that you almost kill with your combos, and then you just need to do that last little bit of damage with your weapons. Then we're going to grab with Fire and Anomaly for that anomaly boost. Also Phoenix Nestling, so you get that second chance in case you guys mess up, because you can be a little bit squishy with this build as we're not running any sort of survivability mods. And then we're just going to finish out with the end of the tree here, grab the cooldown, and then obviously Grave Ablaze. But here I just wanted to give you guys some gameplay examples, so I'm just going to run through the start of Frontline. It's pretty easy to play this build. The biggest part is just going to be your positioning in the map, so you guys don't end up dying. But pretty much whenever you can, cast your heat waves. It's going to boost your anomaly. Also, you're going to apply the debuffs. Then you can do Ash Blast and then Overheat, and you guys will nuke literally everything. You're going to want to get into central points of the map when you use your Ash Blast, so you get as many people affected by the skill as possible. But then otherwise, when you guys are on cooldowns, make sure you're shooting your weapon mods, and then you can just buy time so you can nuke everything. And right here, like I said, the elite damage is going to be slightly lower just because we don't have the phaser beam set up, but you guys will do plenty fine if you're doing the mod swapping. Right there, that cremator is already gone. Yeah, it's seriously just rinse and repeat with that. Just keep casting your heat waves on enemies you want to deal the most damage to and to boost your anomaly power. Then otherwise, just do your weapon mod swapping for the different elites while you're on cooldown, and you guys will have pretty much no issues whatsoever. With enough practice, you guys can start running sub 4-minute boomtowns. Also on Chem Plant, I had I believe it was like a 6:15 run the other night. And once again, I still don't even have cooldown on the boots, so I seriously think I could get that to 6 minutes or less. So the potential with this build is incredibly high. You guys just need to learn how to play it properly. So the big strengths with this build, like I said, is just the AoE mobbing is crazy. You will nuke the entire map of trash mobs. And then the only part it mildly struggles is with those elites. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of your weapon mods. But yeah, guys, that is my take on this Overheat Ash Blast setup. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a thumbs up on it to let me know. Also consider subscribing for more Outriders content. Like I said at the start of the video, we have a ton of pyro builds on the way. So make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button if you're interested in those. Also, I'll be live on Twitch as this video goes live working on our melee pyro build. So hopefully I'll see you guys over there. Also, make sure you join up on that Discord if you're looking for people to play Outriders with or just talk Outriders with. Yeah, guys, hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.